Is that better? Yeah, that is better. Don't know why that my mic had got switched off for some strange reason. But there you go. There was something on the system settings that got switched my mic off, or set it to default instead of my USB mic. Or I've changed that over now. So yeah. But yeah, I got you missed it. So I was watching this from about 7:15-ish when it started moving up. It's one I traded yesterday, so it's still on my watch list from yesterday. And then I was waiting for the access at 7:30. And as soon as I got the access, it was still moving up. So I jumped in quickly, scaled in quickly, and got out quickly. It pulled back, and we're up at 560s right now. Let's see. There's a little doji there, so 560 is kind of where I want it to be. Bit of a pullback. Afternoon, Dave. Good to see you. Yes, you missed it. I did call it out in the Discord. Well, not just myself. But it was called out in the Discord there, Alistair, before I actually took the trade, and the reasons why it's moving. So, snooze, you lose. No problem at all, Jason. This is the Marvel mug that was gifted to me last week when I went watching Black Panther. So, happy tea time, everybody. It's not as big as my other mugs, though. Capacity-wise, it's a nice mug, but it's not as big. It doesn't carry the capacity. Bounce on the VWAP here was the high volume, so keep an eye on that one. On Cosec and B-Way, the two gappers above kind of the 15% threshold I set myself. Abercrombie had earnings earlier. ANF. So Abercrombie had earnings, but not much volume. It's just kind of popped up and gone sideways. Best Buy also had earnings, popped up, moving sideways here. BP also had earnings, but this is more of a steady climb at the moment, and not great volume, so not really much of a trade there. Let's look at the market. So we're all gapping up this morning. So let's look at the 15 on the market. So very choppy yesterday, sideways market, but it gapped down. But once the bell rang, it finished pretty much where it opened. So very sideways, but it's gapping up today. So will we test 400 anytime soon? We'll get up to kind of 397, 398 today, do you think? Will we be bullish, or will we sell off after the bell? Let me know. Hey, Phil. Is it going to be a bullish day or a sell-off? Another sell-off? What do you think? Will we finish green today? On the market. The VIX is slightly down at 2233. So the volatility index was ever so slightly down. Heavily down yesterday, but that's the Nasdaq. Very sideways at the moment. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up. Russell Index is probably outperforming everything at the moment. Is up 44 base points. So let's go back to the stocks that are actually moving on the day. Hey Farron, I'm in good spirits today. I don't know why. I'm in a good mood. We're getting new highs. Oh, we just broke high of day with Best Buy. Quick pullback. Let's see what happens here. Well, some volatility on ELP. ONCS looks like it's trying to make a move back up. Hey Brian, good morning or afternoon to you. Good afternoon from me and good morning to you. I don't actually know where you're based, Brian, so if you're in Asia, good evening. It's a quieter pre-market than it was yesterday. Just putting that out there. We had a lot more movement, a lot more things moving yesterday than we have at the moment today. More turmoil in crypto. Good, yeah, but Kai, I saw Best Buy moving up. Didn't it's just broke some new highs now and pulled back a little bit. 7750 is the well 7751 and change is the new high of day. So if it makes up and breaks new highs, could be interesting. Best Buy, good earnings. Hey Lexter, I actually missed the Saudi game, but I was surprised. I deliberately didn't watch it because I thought it was going to be a one-way annihilation. And Faz, I thought Argentina were actually going to put 6 or 7 past to Saudi Arabia. Lo and behold, I checked the result, and it's 2-1 to the Saudis. Unbelievable. There's always, every World Cup, there's always a shock result in the first round. There's always a shock result. I remember France in 2002 went out to Senegal or something, or whoever. Didn't win a game as the holders. Hey BKS, good to see you again. Oh yeah, Argentina will come good. I mean, one game in the knockout stages, it's important, but one game in the group stage, you can go on and win the next 2 and still top the group. And so it depends. It really does. Oh, that was a big spike. It looks, I think that's algorithmic trades by the looks of it. A little bit late, but sometimes that happens. It's usually 8 a.m. market time you get the algorithmic spikes, but sometimes it's either 5 or 10 past also. Yeah, absolutely. Italy didn't make it to the following finals after they were champions. They didn't even qualify. So yeah, absolutely, the champions can it can happen. What stocks are we looking at today? Well, I'm looking at Oncosec again at the moment. Best Buy had earnings, BP's had earnings, but it's low volume at the moment. So at the moment, OncoSec's probably my top choice. It's what I've traded, so it's the only thing I've traded so far. And Best Buy and OncoSec, the two that I'm keeping an eye on Grinder again because it had a sell-off yesterday. So until it finds that fair market value as an IPO, we might find that this volatility there. I'm going to put Dual on there, which is going to be an IPO later as well. So that could be interesting. No, we're not shorting it. I wouldn't short. It's above the V. It's always risky to short something above the VWAP. I wouldn't short this just right now. Up at 640s. Blue sky above. So what day was that? The 9th. I'll go back to the 9th on the news. Just having a look at what the original gap up catalyst was. It a reverse split? I think it was on the 9th, 10th. Yeah, it was a 22-to-1 reverse stock split. So I'll put this on the 60-minute. You'll see what I'm talking about. So there was a 22-to-1 reverse stock split here. Then it started selling off, and yesterday it started to move up. So, and we've now got kind of on Friday it had a really good catalyst that the market just didn't warm to for whatever reason, but it's clinical data, and it seems to be picking up from yesterday and today. So we traded it yesterday. We managed to make some money on it yesterday, a little bit of money. I think did we make money on this yesterday? Yeah, $250. We didn't get a huge move. We got in at the top of the move and then it sold off. So yeah, I remember this one. That was towards the end of the day. Hey Alfred, good to see you again. What's the goal for a player when you've reached the World Championship? Okay. Well, I think based on some of the videos, well, one of the videos in particular that I saw about a day in the life of a Twitter employee, I think if I'd seen that as I was taking over the Twitter business, a failing business in effect, as Elon, I would have gone in and started shaking the pail as well. But there's ways to do things and ways not to do things. And you know what it's like, but in Germany in particular, you can't just go in and start shaking the pail. You've got to give them notice that you're coming in first. Then you've got to go and give them notice that you're shaking the pail. Then you've got to ask for their feedback. Okay, and then about 9 months later, you can actually get rid of them after paying them 6 months' salary. No, I think 2018 there was a completely different for Germany. They had a lot of injuries in 2018. Morale's the least of his worries. Well, I don't give stock picks there, BKS. And I advise everybody, don't blindly follow me. If you're watching me, great, learn from what I'm doing. I hope you're learning a lot. I hope I'm teaching you different things and strategies and that being profitable on the markets is possible. But don't try to follow my copy trading. Doesn't work. I've tried it. It just does not work. Aside from that, from the fact that I'm trading with a different sized account than you guys, so I can have a different level of, or I can cope with a different level of risk. Aside from that, there's also the fact that the stream here is delayed. We saw when the football was on yesterday that the stream was delayed, and you were getting my stream about 20 or 30 seconds later than what I was seeing. So if you try and copy me, there's a chance that I've got in and got out before you see me actually get in. So don't copy me blindly. I'll be calling out the setups by all means, but don't just copy me blindly. You do your own research and make your own decisions. Hey Steve, good to see you. Yeah, I saw that. So Marathon Digital, I think the crypto mining stocks are a little bit difficult to trade right now because crypto as a whole is very volatile. And what I mean by that is from a political sense, not from a price action point of view. But the crypto mining stocks are all underwater at the moment. They're finding it difficult to make money. Now, Marathon Digital's moving up slightly this morning, but it's not on great volume at the moment. Certainly not relatively speaking. So just be careful. Wait for the volume to come in to make any kind of moves reliable. That will be not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but that's what I do, is I wait for the volume to come in. Follow the crowds. Go where the crowds go. Bed Bath and Beyond. How's Dick's performing? Because that sold off. Didn't want Dick's on that list. Yeah, so it popped up, sold off. It doesn't know what it's doing. And it's not a great volume either. You'd think on earnings that there would be a lot more people trading it, but no. Just isn't. There's no volume at the moment, guys. No volume in the markets. What, do you know her? Macy's long term. I don't know. It's a reputable name. I'd have to I'd have to have a proper look into the balance sheet. Macy's is not something that I've thought about investing in so long term. I've never really looked at it. Just looking at the chart from a technical point of view, it's actually quite strong. It's tends to trade in line with the market on most days, but occasionally it will have its own catalyst and move out of the way. But Macy's, it's a reasonably reliable. It's not going anywhere anytime soon, I don't think. We'll see. Had earnings there a couple of, was it last week or the week before? I'm not sure. My entry on, my initial entry when I got in was 660 on ONCS. I got in, rode it up, and then when it came back down, I got in again, rode it up again. So I got 20 cents twice. Yeah, it's just consolidating right now. Same as Best Buy. Best Buy and ONCS, both on Corsac. Both just consolidating sideways right now. And you know what? I don't mind that. Silvergate. I'll take a look at Silvergate for you. Again, no volume at the moment. It's been very beat up over the last 3-4 months. Heavily sold off. And slightly up today, 3%. Probably, I'd have to look at the fundamentals to see if there's any news, whether it looks like it might turn around. But at the moment, on the daily, it's very weak. Yeah, it's been selling off for all year, and not much good news on Silver Lake. And there's no volume, not enough volume to trade it intraday. Without a catalyst, there's no swing trade. It doesn't look strong enough to invest in. So Silver Lake, no, that's my opinion on Silver Lake. Yeah, absolutely. So OENCS is like a million shares in the float. It's only what's known as a micro float. A million shares or less is known as a micro float stock. So I like to trade stocks that are less than 100 million. Ideally, stocks that are less than 10 million, because you get huge volatility with them, which is what we're seeing now with OncoSec. You're getting a lot of volatility with it because, I mean, there's a million shares in the float. It's already traded 2.6 million today. So it's recycled the entire float over 1.5 times. So that in itself creates volatility and significant moves. I can see that. I'm seeing it moving, but not on any kind of volume though, JSpec. Let's have a quick look at the chart. So that popped up and then popped back down. You can't trade something like that. It's just there's not enough volume. So this is TC Biopharma. It moved up to 850. It's now pulling back again, but it's on such low volume. That's just, you're not going to catch that move because you're not going to see it, and you're not going to. You don't want to be getting in at the top end either. So I'd wait for some kind of sustained move if there's a catalyst. I can't see that there is, but like 20,000 shares, you need something to be trading. As it starts, you need something to be trading at least 50,000 or above pre-market in terms of volume. We're not even getting 10,000 shares a minute right now. So 39,000 shares in total in the out of hours session. And you can't short it either. It's on short sale restriction. So I wouldn't bother with that one, Steve. Wouldn't bother with that, JSpec. Not financial advice. You want to trade this stock? Be my guest. But for me, it doesn't look reliable enough to take it. It's a $7 stock. It's got a 40-cent spread, or 20 cents at the moment. But the spreads are very rangy for consider it's only $7. So that's another piece of risk that you've got in there as well. So just be careful with this one. It looks to me a bit suspect. Let me see what the catalyst is, because the relative volume is interesting. There you go. There is a catalyst. Dropped at the top of the hour, so it's taken a while for a reaction with that one. But TC Biopharma begins dosing phase 2B clinical study, evaluating its lead compound Omnimmune in patients with acute myeloid leukemia. So that's why that one's moving up. Don't know what a myeloid leukemia is, especially acute one. How many hours do I trade per day? That's a fluid question. It really is. On a hot day, I might do 4 or 5 hours. On a cold day, 2 or 3. So I do 2.5 hours on the stream, and very often on a cold day, if I've got to go, that's all I need to do. So I'm streaming live and I don't really need to trade. So a couple of hours a day, I would say, is more than sufficient. If you only need to trade, you need to find your sweet spot, and if that's the open, or if it's the close, or if it's the mid, whatever, find your sweet spot where you're comfortable trading, where you find it profitable for you, and then you don't need to be your day. That's one of the benefits of becoming a day trader is, and one of the reasons you do it. It's not, you're not doing it to become a millionaire, because very few people do. You're not doing it for the Lambo money or you know, the mansion in Beverly Hills, because that's just fantasy. It doesn't work. I mean, somebody said, why am I not in a mansion? I'm like, I live in Dublin. Have you seen the price of property in Dublin? It's bloody stupid. So and just the cost of maintaining is just equally as stupid. So the reality is, real traders, real profitable traders, none of these fake traders, they live relatively meager lifestyles. They might have a holiday home in Marbs or wherever on the Playa de la Luz or whatever, but they're not extravagant with their expenditure. You can earn a very good living, but you don't have to be trading 8 hours a day. And if you trade 8 hours a day, the likelihood is you're going to lose money. There is a literal thing called overtrading. And fatigue does set in. So your decision making, you want to be trading when you're most alert. And if you're not trading when you're alert, your decision making can be faulty and you're going to lose money. I've traded hungover. I've traded very recently with a full bottle of wine in my belly, and it's not productive at all. You will lose money if you're doing that. Same thing as if you're overtired. So I make it. I've got a little rule that I finish my live stream and I take the dog for a walk. The market can be hot, but I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. I've been trading for 2.5 hours, 90 minutes in the pre-market, the first hour of the market. I want a break. So I'll take the dog for a walk. Doesn't matter what the market's doing, I'll take a dog for the walk. And then when I come back, if I need to, I'll trade some more. Very often, I'll just go out and do what I need to do. And I've got the rest of the day to myself. The mornings I've always got to myself. But then the rest of the afternoon, so I finished trading, 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I've got the evening to myself. So basically, this is an afternoon job. Let's have a look at... I don't think Zoom's obsolete, but Peloton, yeah. Peloton is the modern day equivalent of the Bulwark. I don't know if you remember the big black pneumatic Bulwarker that for getting fit. Look, if you want to get a virtual reality bicycle and sit on it and train with it, why not just get an actual bicycle? The views are much better. Granted, you get wet in the winter, but just get a bicycle. Same with a treadmill. Just go and run. I mean, who's going to pay $2,000 for a bike? If you're going to pay $2,000 for your bike, make sure there's an engine on it. You know what I mean? But the Peloton, it was a gimmick during lockdown. It was, you know, a COVID darling, because everybody, the only time they could do anything was by exercising. They couldn't go to the gym. All the gyms were closed. If you want to do an exercise, you're not going $2,000 for an exercise bike. Come on. So I think Peloton's days are numbered. That's personally. But Zoom is a good conference call. It probably will get acquired by another company at some stage. Maybe Cisco or you know, Oracle, or it might get acquired by a bigger company. But it's decent technology. Communication stock there's no going back now. The cat's out of the bag. There's no going back to you have to work at the office. Remote working is here to stay. I don't care what Elon says, but remote working is here to stay. Here we go. That popped up nice. Tough Built popping up as well. This is Tiva. Tough Built. Let's have a look at Tough Built as well. Come back to Tiva in a minute. It continues to move up. Tough Built's down there at 266, moving up. Kind of like the look of that Teva though, so I'm just going to keep watching that. It gets back up towards 920s. Tough built right now, 274. It's trading this up $8-9 not too long ago. Well, Tough built's having a nice day. It seems. Is there a catalyst? Let me have a look. Teva Pharma. At 906. Okay, so just dropped. Teva finalized nationwide opioid settlement terms. And yesterday, they announced a new president and CEO. So let's put Teva on here. That continues to move up. Tough built. I'm watching it on the other screen, but we'll see. Absolutely, darlings. During COVID times, you're in lockdown, but we're no longer in lockdown. Therein lies the issue with the likes of Peloton. I just don't get Peloton anymore. You know, I never got it in the first place. I'd rather have a regular bicycle and do that. At least you get to place. You can call at the shops and pick up some groceries on your way. You can't do that in your front room. Okay, so JSpec. Fake traders. It's just a lot of it's for clout. You know, a lot of them are scams. They're trying to promote stocks and pump stocks, yeah. But this a lot of them are scams. They're just launching these WhatsApp and Telegram channels. You give them your money, they sell, give you a return, and you never see your money again. I want a Meta headset and go to the market. I'm not giving my money to Zuckerberg. I'm watching Tough Built right now. It's back down at 280s. Just trying to make a move up. So I'm watching Teva and Tough Built. I've got them on my watch list screen. I've got them both together at the same time. These are the two that are moving right now. Teva and Tough Built. Interesting charts. Very similar chart at the moment. Volume on Teva is not huge, which is what's kind of stopped me from getting into it. The volume on Tough Built, however, is much better. It's a lower price. It's below my floor. Now I do trade between $2 and $3 occasionally, but I don't see the need for me to do it right now. So it's actually below my floor. And if it gets above $3, which means it's got to move another 10% again. A Tough Built. If it gets to about 20% up, I might be interested because it'll be about $3 by then. Oh yeah, the offering closed some time ago on Tough Built. Well, I think the first whoever, yeah, they're not going to do that though. Although saying that, I'm surprised what you're getting on Instagram Reels. Some of the stuff on Instagram Reels is well shady. I hope it's not breaching community guidelines. I don't know. You'd be kicked off in an instant if you were on TikTok. Yeah. Well, that's why VHS beat Betamax. It's because of that industry, the adult industry. Oh, ONCS making a pop. $660 is a key level for this. Yeah. We're getting some movement now. Across the board. Just scalping. Very good, nice scalp. Happy days, another grand there, another 1,000. Let me have a quick look at Pally. Oh, that's popped up very nicely. So this Palisade Bio. Let me have a look at the catalyst. No, when I look at short interest, I check the Benzinga one. If the Benzinga one doesn't give me the information I need, then I might look at FINRA, or actually, I tend to look at Fintel for short interest. I'll look at Benzinga first, and then if I need more information, I go to Fintel. Ortex is good, but again, all of the information that you need is freely available. So Palisade Bio is granted a fast-track designation from the FDA for accelerated return on bowel function following gastric surgery. That's a nice catalyst. I'll put that on the watch list. That breaks $3. I might be interested in that as well. At the moment, getting paired with Encore Sec. Benzinga is you can do it monthly, you can do it quarterly, or you can do it annually, whichever you want. If you go for the longer term you go for, the bigger the discount you get. But whatever plan is, don't pay full price for the plan. Or whichever term you're going for, don't pay full price for it. Use my discount code and get at least 35% off, regardless of what plan it is. So if you're going for the annual plan, you get a discount for the annual, and then you get an additional 35% off the annual on top of that as well. So you end up paying about 40% of the annual cost, or whatever it is. So yeah, Benzinga, it's monthly charge, quarterly charge, or annual charge. I recommend, if you're going to be doing this on a regular basis, just go for the it's about a grand out of pocket up front, but it's worth it. And then you don't have to, you can forget about that, and you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the year. Benzinga, no, it's the list price is about 177 a month. But like I say, I pay about 90, 95, something like that. I'll have to double check, but yeah. But like I say, don't pay full price. 177 a month. It works out about, what is it, about 1,000 a year or something like that, because of the whole discounts or whatever. And then if you get 35% off, so you can get it for a year for about 700-800 quid. Oh, it's definitely worth it. Absolutely worth it. I mean, there are more expensive ones. I mean, your Bloomberg terminal is probably the best one, but you're literally talking thousands a month for that one. And I can't justify the difference. It is, it's a miles better and everything you get with it, but I just can't justify the difference in cost for the benefit that I would get from it. It's the Bloomberg terminal is what the institutions would use. You've got Trade Ideas, which is also, it's a bit more expensive than, it's also quite good. I would say there's probably not much between that and Benzinga, but it's more expensive than Benzinga, so of course I go with Benzinga. There are a few, free tools out there as well, but I like Benzinga. It's got everything I need at my fingertips, so I don't complain. We've got 3 stocks that just moved up quickly there. We've got Teva moved up, it's pulling back. We've got Tough Built moved up, it's pulling back, and we've got Palisade that's moved up, it's pulling back. So did they do a lifetime plan? I've not seen the lifetime plan there, Jobby. I'll have a look at that if they do. I didn't realize they did a lifetime plan. This gets back over $3, I'm very interested. What does the recent article on Benzinga mean? Okay, let me just have a quick look. Okay. Looking into Oncosec Medical's recent short interest. I'll pull this up so we can all see it, shall I? No, you can't see it. Okay, so Oncosec Medical's short percent of float has fallen 96% since its last report. Basically, the people that were shorting it, most of them have covered. That's what he's saying. They reported it had 2,000 shares sold short, which is 0.1% of all regular shares that are available. And it would take traders 2.2 days to cover their short positions on average. It basically does. It doesn't mean anything. The short interest on Oncosec is so small. It doesn't make any difference at all to the price action. We're talking fractions of a percent. I mean, I know it's a microfloat stock, but fractions of a percent. Basically, nobody's shorting it. There's virtually nobody shorting it. And it's on short sale restriction right now anyway, so you're not going to be able to short it. It's not going to squeeze in terms of a short squeeze. The reason for the move up, the reason for the buying pressure is not going to be shorts covering. There's not enough shorts to cover. So people get, since GameStop and AMC, people get hung up on things short squeeze, a short squeeze. No, let's look at what a short squeeze actually is. It's buying pressure. It's the same as any other kind of buying pressure. It just has a different catalyst. So the reason people buy something is there's multiple reasons why people buy a stock. But if you're short on a stock and it continues to move to the upside, you're going to find yourself in a losing position. So you're going to cover. And how do you cover? You buy the shares to cover the position that you were shorting. So that adds to the upwards pressure and the buying pressure. So you can get a snowball effect and it continue moving upwards, etc. So that's essentially what a short squeeze is. But it's no different in reality to anyone else buying shares. We'll see. There's not a lot of volume on Grindr at the moment, but we'll see if the volume comes in and it starts to move. Then yeah, why not? It is. I've got it on my other watch list. I'm looking at it on the chart. It's yet to find its fair market value. It pumped up on its first day. This is on its 3rd day of trading. It pumped up on its first day. It sold off yesterday. The likelihood is it'll either do one or the other today. I know that sounds like an obvious statement, but the reality is that I'm missed my entry. The reality is that if it moves, it moves. Grinder could be in play, but I don't know what. I'll have a look in a moment with Grinder to see what the spreads and everything are. Oh, there was a lot of naked shorting because the thing is with naked shorting, it goes on all the time. All naked shorting is when your broker allows you to short with borrowed shares that they don't have. That's all naked shorting is. So you're borrowing shares that don't exist. So you're shorting a position without actually having located actual shares to short. That's all naked shorting is. So it's a facility that a lot of brokers will give to you, and if they see a stock is easy to borrow, they will allow you to borrow even if they don't have the shares, and that's naked shorting. 325 possibly, but right now we've got a bit of a double top up here because it went up to 320. It's kind of finding a bit of resistance there and pulling back. If it pulls back to the VWAP, it needs to hold. Otherwise, ideally, it needs to hold the whole dollar. But the VWAP's currently at 292. So I was looking for, I wanted to get it at 310 on the way up because I figured we'd get a 10-cent move. But I'm glad I didn't there. I'm waiting now. This probably could pull back to the VWAP a little bit. Hold at $3 or it's got the VWAP. So there's a confluence of support here. You've got the whole dollar support at $3. You've got the 9 EMA at 295, or a little bit of change under, and you've got the VWAP at 293, or just under 293. There's kind of confluence of support here for Pally. We're getting some good volume coming through at the bottom. If you look at this histogram here, there's some good volume coming through as well. It's already 10 times relative volume, which is good. Oh, that's Oncosex, 10 times relative volume. Pally is... What's that? Six times relative volume. 900,000 shares traded versus 150,000 is the regular. So that's 6 times relative volume, isn't it? Just trying to do the you could probably smell the wood burning of me trying to do the mental gymnastics in my head. Let's go back to ONCS. I'll keep an eye on Pally. Got 3 charts right in front of me that are looking in 4 charts. But this is actually a decent day for the watch list. ONCS, tough build, back below the VWAP. Maybe that just popped up and might not recover. It needs to get back above the VWAP. So tough built. Needs to get back above the VWAP. Probably won't be trading that unless it gets over $3 anyway. So I'm just going to remove that from the watch list right now. I'll keep it on the chart until I can replace it with something. Tiva. It seems to be holding at the VWAP. Again, this has got a confluence of support underneath as well. The 20 and the VWAP very close together. VWAP at 916, the 20 EMA at 917. So let's see. ONCS making moves back up. Now we're looking at high of day 685. ONCS news. It had news a couple of days ago. So it had good news a couple of days ago. It's taken a while for it to come through. I mean, this originally was a stock split there a couple of weeks ago, a reverse stock split, 22-to-1 reverse split. So it moved up, and then a couple of days ago, it got news of clinical data news from a trial of TAVO, which is their drug. That was in combination with BMS. And their nivolumab, but it's a very small float. It's what's known as a micro float. So it's a 1 million shares in the float. So you can get in. It's a very liquid stock at the moment. It's 1 million shares in the float, but there's 4 million shares been traded. No, that's not naked anything. That's basically the same shares being traded backwards and forwards. It's been recycled 4 times already, and it's only pre-market. So with ONCS today, you can pretty much see that when it's 10 times its relative volume, it normally trades about 37,000 shares a day over the last 3 months, whereas right now it's trading over 4 million. Riot blockchain making moves up, so we're getting some crypto mining stocks making some noises. We'll put 420s. I remember trading this at $42, let alone 420. Riot blockchain. Well, it would be Kushik that there'll be no trading on Thursday and it'll be half day on Friday. So across the course of a week, that is the case. However, the first 3 days, not necessarily. And we have seen lower volume today than we did yesterday and overall. So, I mean, if we look at the SPY on the daily, you can see that 130 million, whatever. Let's have a quick look at a couple of other things. So this is the SPY right now. It's trading 500,000 shares at the moment on the SPY. So the SPY is an ETF. Tends to be, well, it does follow the S&P 500. But it's a good indicator of market sentiment and market movement overall. Well, let's have a quick look at the key data. Yeah, so average volume on a daily basis on the SPY is 90 million. 90 million shares a day gets traded. That's average. Over the last 3 months in particular, that's the average on the SPY. If we look at this yesterday, 51 million, which is kind of half the average relative volume-wise. Friday was 90 million, so that was pretty much spot on. 74 million, a little bit light on last Thursday. 68 Wednesday. 93 on Tuesday and 71 on. So last week, there's a couple of days a little bit lower than the average, but yesterday was lower than average. It was about half, it was 50 million shares traded versus the average of 91, so relatively low volume. So yeah. Well, Polly might come back for another round. Totally agree with you. I'm going to put a nice little ray line on here. That's my descending resistance. I'm going to put a nice little horizontal because we, what have we got? 35 minutes to the bell. So the high of day right now is 320. So that's the horizontal I'm looking for a potential gap and go. I've got the map. They've got these high of days mapped out already with ONCS. So it's 685. A potential gap and go there. Teva Doesn't really look like that's coming alive. That's below the VWAP now, and the volume's died off. We started to get rid of the volume moving up, but it doesn't look particularly appetizing. We'll see. Oh, it's a good start. Pre-market. I've just been sniping this morning, so get in, get some money, get out. I've not been holding it for it to reverse on me, and quite frankly, that's probably the best way to do it pre-market. Just scalp the moves, get in, get out, and don't get bogged down in any of this consolidation nonsense. I can observe, yes, of course I can. No problem, Ian. Helps if I put the right letters in, doesn't it? So it's selling off. It moved up. It's selling off hard now. So started off around 17 cents, went up to 31, and it's now at 23, down at 20, 22, 23. So just be careful with this. It's underneath the VWAP. If you're shorting it, good luck. If it's, I don't know if it's easy to borrow or not, so observer. But this is below the VWAP. In fact, it's below the 200 EMA as well. It's kind of bouncing on the 20 EMA to the downside, so it's looking very weak. Certainly from an intraday perspective. Right now it's looking weak. It popped up. I don't know the reason for the pop-up. I've not looked at the fundamentals, but it's looking weak at the moment. Needs to get back above the VWAP, which to be fair is only 3 cents or 3.5 cents away. But it's if you look at this on a longer time frame, it's easier to actually see. The initial move up, then the sell off, and now it's kind of just selling down and getting further and further extended to the downside. So I don't think this is coming back personally. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, just putting that out there. Don't sue me. Yeah, well, we'll see if the market reacts any better to it. Don't trade, like I always say, Ian, don't trade the news, trade the price action. Best Buy moving up, breaking highs. Oh no, not quite. At the highs right now. $77.50. The $0.50 proving key there. In fact, it proved key here as well as a support. You're getting a dollar range between support and resistance on Best Buy right now. So let's take another look at Pally. It's already broke that that makes that redundant. So it broke that descending resistance level. So now we're just looking at the flat resistance at 320. It's now the top gapper above $2. $40, 40%, 38%, 38.5% up on the day. Hey, Neddy. Yeah, let's have a quick look at Grindr, see how it's performing. I'm looking at it on the other chart, but I want to see it on multiple time frames just to see if it's in play or not. On the 1 minute, no, it's not. There's no volume at the moment. It might be one to watch, but if you look at it on the let's look at it on the 30-minute chart. This initial pop-up, it then had a little bounce here and then sell off. So I figured we might get above that. I'll leave that $42 in there. That's key levels. But it doesn't look like this is in play right now. For today, just based on volume alone, 47,000 shares traded, so it needs much more volume to come in, and some sustained momentum to the upside or downside. You can't short, but you can short it if your broker lets you, but it's shorting is prohibited on the bid, so you're going to have to wait to try and short the ask, which is then becomes a bit difficult, and it's a 50-cent spread as well, so I would say it's very risky at the moment to try and trade Grinder. So it's not in play at the moment. We'll see what happens at the bell. Well, I live to entertain there, Neddy. Oh, so we're breaking highs with Best Buy. I missed it. We got the breakout on the $0.50. I want to know if this is going to be moving up or not now, or are we done? I kind of like the look of this. What's the spread on this? It's only 15 cents. That's not bad. So there at the high. It needs to break highs to move up. $77.87 is the high. Current ask is $77.75. 18 cents on the ATR. Probably not as volatile as I would like it to be, but we'll keep an eye on it. This is fun to watch. This is a bit like Huadi and HKD, SatX-Fi, in terms of the huge movements up and down on very little volume and huge spreads. So right now the spread here is a little over $1. So it's a $27 stock, but the $1.16 is the spread. SatX-Fi Communications. So if this gets back green on the day, it might move. I'm not saying it will, and I'm not saying trade it. I'm saying it's very risky to trade. It's a very risky stock to trade, but if you time it right, you can get good volatility with it. Already, I mean, we're looking at a 34.5 cent ATR, so you can get good volatility on that. You can get a dollar move in no time at all, but you really need $2 because the spreads are $1. So what else? What else are you guys watching? Let's have a look at the market. Let's go back to the market itself. The S&P500 is kind of sideways at the moment, but it's having a reasonably good day. It's a bullish day. It's above the VWAP. It's half a percentage point up almost. So the S&P 500, if it maintains like this, stays above the VWAP, stays above the 20 EMA, we might see some bullish momentum across the market. Now we've got 24 minutes to the bell. We didn't have anything up until this time yesterday, anything really that was worth trading. I think we took one trade before the bell. Obviously, we tried swinging Grinder across the day, went against us, but we got that back later in the day. So let's see what today holds. $25 to the bell. A good time to do your bathroom breaks or put the kettle on whilst we're waiting for a bit of action. Let's have a look at ANF. Seems to be moving up. Yeah, it is moving up. Let's have a look why it's moving up. That's a good question. The grinder moving up as well on very low volume. Right, so Q3 earnings conference call. That's why Abercrombie's moving up. It's on. It's right now, taking place right now. Abercrombie and Fitch. Let's move up on surprise profit and holiday sales optimism. That's Abercrombie and Fitch. Now let me have a quick look at the key data here. It was good earnings drop. So it's a 31 million float, 31.5 million float. There is a reasonable short interest on Abercrombie as well, so 16% shorted. 5 million short shares at the moment. Last information I've got here is that 2.5 days to cover. The volume's not huge. It's not got enough volume for me to trade it, but it's certainly worth watching. Put that on the list. I'll come back to it if it starts to move after the bell. Back to Palisades. So we never broke above that 320 level. We tapped it 3 times now, so we're down at the VWAP. The Palisades. The volume on Abercrombie right now, 250,000 right now. So relatively speaking, it's not even close. So it averages 2 million shares a day, Abercrombie, and it's only done 250,000. So it's an eighth. Not even. Yeah, an eighth. So what are we on like? What's the light count? Is it time to feed the pooch, or do we have to wait? I have to say, guys, you're not very generous with the thumbs up on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, just go into YouTube. I don't care whether it's on a tablet, on the TV, or on the PC, or on your phone. Just hit the thumbs up button. It really helps me out. And I'm doing this for free for you every single day. So, you know, at least help me out by giving me a thumbs up on YouTube. And I'm telling you, what happens is every time I get over 20 thumbs ups on YouTube, then the stocks go absolutely mental and we find opportunities to make money. Seriously, just hit that thumbs up button. You'll see it's true. It's the truth. You know you want it. Do it now. Less than 1,000 likes on TikTok. What are you doing, guys? Everybody on TikTok, tap that screen 10 times. Poor dog's never going to get fed. We're not going to... When Matt and Edison are not on the stream, she goes hungry. That's all I'm saying. Hey Jim. Oh, we've only traded the one stock so far, Don. Calm down with the snoring. Goodness. Surprised she doesn't wake herself up. Encore Sexol we've traded so far. We're looking at Palisades, but we were waiting for it to break 320. It never did. It's tapped it 3 times. Now it's kind of battling with the VWAP. What's happening with ONCS? Not a lot at the moment. It's just ranging sideways on the VWAP right now. And I apologise for anyone that wonders, that's new to the channel, that thinks that I've got some kind of device that snores. That's not me. That's the dog. She's living her best life. Oh, 3,000. Okay, fair enough. Miyako, I've woke you up because you were disturbing everybody with your snoring. Would you like a treat? Oh, let's stand up for it. You know the rules. There's a big fat one here, you can have that. Come on, I'll introduce you to everybody that's not met you before. Here is the snoring chow chow that was just interrupting the stream. And she's having a little duck fillet right now. Hey, my little teddy bear. Not so little anymore. Do I have a picture of my dog? That was my dog that you just saw. You don't need a picture. You just seen the real thing. How old is she? She's 2 years old, aren't you? A little chubby, chunky fatty. 2 years old. She's a lockdown baby. It's kind of amusing because I had to drive over the Wicklow Mountains here in Ireland to pick her up, and I got stopped by a local guard, or if you're not from Ireland, what the Irish people call a culture guard. So it's a yokel. A yokel police officer is probably the best way of describing it. So from the local constabulary in the countryside, pulled me over because obviously it's lockdown. Where are you from? I'm from Dublin. What are you doing here? I'm going getting a dog. What are you going getting a dog for? Don't you know it's lockdown? Going through all the rigmarole. And anyway, he let me off and let me go and pick up my dog. But you know, so the difference between then and now is astronomical. I look back at some of the videos and photos from then, and it's not the same dog. I'm sure it isn't. She looks the same, just bigger. I mean, immensely bigger. She's about 6 stone in weight. For those of you that are not who are not sure about the imperial measurements, it's about 32 kilos. $6 stone if you're in the US, because you're purely pounds. What's that? About £50 ish. My goodness. You went from 1,000 to 5,000 in a couple of minutes. That's fair play. Who's got the finger on the button and forgot to take it off? Keep it there. Don't worry about it. Whoever it is, I hope your girlfriend's happy. Shut up. They've just treated you, and you were busy disturbing us with your snoring. Now you're disturbing us with your barking. Miyako, be quiet. You're supposed to be heard and not seen, or seen and not heard. Stop wagging your tail at me and being cute. Well, I think somebody's. Yeah, she actually can have another fillet. It's 5,000 was the other one. Okay, you can have another fillet. Come on. Here you go. Come on. Come on. You want it or not? You gotta be quicker than that. Come on. Come on. You took my fingers off then. There you go. I'm not that popular, Alistair. We all know who is, though. And it might not be me. But she is. You're worth it. L'Oreal dog, she's worth it. Right, that's killed 10 minutes for us. Let's have a look at what else is moving. So ONCS is just consolidating sideways. I've marked out the key levels for the open. Palisades, similar situation. Key levels for any potential gap and go. We've got, what else have we got? Tough build is below the VWAP and no volume. Tiva, no volume. So Abercrombie and Fitch pulling back down to the VWAP here. I'm going to mark out the pre-market high because we might get some volume here as well. 22.40. Let's see. Then we can. And what I would recommend to anybody that's new to trading is you're getting used to doing this. You're doing compiling your watch list. Don't be afraid to put lines on the charts, whether it be support, resistance lines, highs of day, lows of day, trend lines. Whatever's going to help you in making your decision, whether that's a decision to enter or a decision to exit, or whatever's going to help you with your trading. Don't be afraid to compile as much information on the charts as you feel you need. Jack Russells are all mean little. They've got that little dog syndrome. That's the thing. I've met a lot of guys with the little man, because I'm a big fella, and I go down the pub, or I used to when I was younger. Go down the pub and people would pick fights with me because I was so big. It didn't usually come off that work out that well for them, but I would be the one that get vilified, and I was a bully. I'm like, I didn't start. I was just defending myself. You know, that little man syndrome, coming picking a fight, and then they're the ones, they don't get hit. It's usually the friends that jump in to save them, and they've caused something, and they disappear behind the friends. But there you go, little man syndrome. And Jack Russells are like that, except they don't need the friends. They're fearless little animals. Horrible little gits as well. What do I think about Newton? Well, we traded well yesterday. What's it looking like today? It's not great today. It's had a couple of good days in a row, good week in fact, but it's actually gapping down today. Low volume. It's currently 11.5% down on the day, underneath the VWAP, low volume. So right now, Newton needs a lot more interest. It needs a bit of bullish momentum to the upside. It may come good. Recent IPO, by the way, this guy's, so Newton. It may come good. We traded it well yesterday. I think we made about 2,500 on Newton yesterday. Was it just over 2,000? Let me have a quick look. Keeping abreast of Yeah, 2,500 were made on Newton yesterday. Yeah, my grandfather had a Jack Russell Terrier, Don, and he used to take it down the sort of little stream, like a sewerage stream and stuff, and rat hunting. Snorto, Moshi, Quacko, Moto. It certainly did. Well, it did not so much help me, but it's helped her and stopped her snoring, so it's helped everybody. So, Best Buy, moving up, needs to get over now, ideally needs to get over 78 for me to be interested in it now. What time is it? We've got 8.5 minutes. I'll get myself a nice brew before the bell. Help yourself, guys. Bathroom breaks, tea breaks, whatever. I have days 87, so yeah. There's a few on the list for gap and go candidates, but whether they do actually go is anyone's guess. We'll see. Most of them are kind of below the VWAP right now, so ONCS is below the VWAP. We've got Palisade below the VWAP, Tough Built below the VWAP, Taver below the VWAP. Why is that important? Well, it's important because the volume weighted average price is a very good intraday trend indicator. If the action's taking place below the VWAP, it means it's actually selling off. It means it's actually moving downwards in price. So you want the action to be above the VWAP. Now we're breaking new highs with the Best Buy. I'm just going to take a quick position. The Best Buy, a little bit late to that one. But we'll see. This needs to really hold 78. Keep moving up. Wanted to get in at the break of 78 there, but I missed it. We've got 78.18 on the ask. My average cost is 78.20. The spread is what's causing the unrealized damage, but we might get a move up at the open as well. So I don't really want to be holding this at the bell. Dell had earnings yesterday. Had good earnings yesterday, actually, did Dell. What's a good day trading simulator? I would say whatever platform you plan to trade on. If you don't have a plan, if you don't have a broker, most brokers will give you a paper trading account alongside your actual account. So if you have a broker, then just put some money into your brokerage and they might charge you platform fees or whatever. But that's usually the cheapest way and the best way to have a simulator is through your broker. If you don't have a broker and you just want to practice before putting money into a broker, that's fine. Then you go with something like, if you want a free simulator, then TradingView. It's not the best simulator, and you're either going to have to pay a subscription for live data fees, or you're going to have to put up with delayed data while you practice. You can use something like a TC2000 or even a Dash Trader, which is what I use for trading. They do have simulator profiles, or a Sterling Trader you can get with certain schools as well. So just doubled up, bring my average down to 78.10. Averaging down isn't usually a good strategy. Just putting that out there. ONCS is below the VWAP at the moment. Super chip. We've traded that already today, but it's currently at 637. It's just underneath the VWAP right now. So we've got 90 seconds before the bell. I will change the scanners over while I'm watching this. Oh, dang, that went a bit further than I would take. Don't take your eye off the action whilst you're trading, Tony. That's cardinal sin. You better find some support here, otherwise I could be in a little bit of a hole. Come on, Best Buy, move back up. Need you above 78. Let's put my stop at 77. That's more than I wanted. I'm giving it a whole dollar and I didn't really want to do that. If it moves up, it could be quite profitable. Let's see. Got stopped out. Okay, so lost 6k on that. All that's all selling off. Everything's selling off right now. So I'll just go and make my cup of tea. Well, that happens. All right, will we get the bounce? Which way is this going to go? A few halts straight away. AMTD. Idea group. Looking for a bounce there. What's the spreads on this right now? My goodness, the spreads have widened with the volume. But just be careful with the spreads, about 30-40 cents. What happened? Dang. Why? All these orders to fill didn't get filled. Not getting filled at all. Pair in the hole, trying to get filled. We've got a 75-cent ATR. You need to give it a bit of room. Looking for $78. Got the break over 78. Let's see. 77, 77. Looking for that break over 78. The hold, 77.98 right now. There we go, we're over 78. take some off. Oh, no, I won't, because that's a bloody stop and I don't want to stop. So we get 78.50. Take some off. No, we're back green at least. Or we will be when this trade finishes. So Best Buy wasn't great for me. So Pally into a halt. Nice halt too. Palisades in your own time. That halted at 37. So anything else moving up right now? Palisades 37, so that will resume at 42. We're currently 39, so okay. Ainza. Let's have a quick look at that chart while we're waiting for Palisades. That's just moved up. No, if it looks like a reverse stock split in the first instance. Let's have a quick look at the Benzinga information. This is also halted. But I just want to see what's the catalyst. Ainza. So earnings call last week. No. Not seeing any catalyst. This one just yet. Okay, not seeing anything. Yeah, it's a reverse stock split. So it's a 15-to-1 reverse stock split, but I'm not seeing anything other than the stock split as to why it's moving up. So let's have a look at ONCS. No. Abercrombie. No. Struggling with that 2250 level. This was just so choppy and difficult. I'd rather give it a miss now. I've lost 1,500 of it on it. Let's have a look at Palisades. That's due to resume in a little under a minute. So let's see. What price would I look to get in at? Well, it depends. I mean, what's the price action? Does this pull back? It's looking like it's going to resume around $4. So it's going to be a gap up, but watch for a pullback. And then if it continues to move up, you can look to get in then. But watch for the pullback first. Wait for a pullback. So about 10-15 seconds resumption now. Anytime. Unless it's a 10-minute hold. Oh, looks like this might be a 10-minute hold. So it's 37, should have resumed 20 seconds ago. So it looks like Palisades is going to be a 10-minute hold. What else is moving? Best Buy down at the lows. NXL, not enough volume. ECBP, not enough volume. Abercrombie, Burlington. Let's have a look at Burlington. That's big movement for a $180 stock. This will be up 17% on the day. That's why did you not see this? That's a big move. Right, we'll just wait for the trades to come to us now. You made your daily goal, nice one, and it's still halted. So this should resume at 47. So we're at 44. There are 3 minutes. Yeah, I do look for patterns. Absolutely. I look for momentum. I'm looking for patterns. I'm looking for breakouts across the board there, Farron. It does sound a bit like it, doesn't it? Get rid of that. It's a distraction. I can't think about Dale Winton at times like this. Whatever happened to Dale Winton? There was another user of Grindr in the celebrity world. All right, 45. Well, GMDA, you want me to take a look at that one for you, Super Chip? 142. It did move up to, it got rejected at $0.50, 149, just over 149, but it's down at 143 now. I'm not overly convinced with that either. I mean, it's obviously I'm not going to be trading, it's below my floor, but it's just been selling off hard this last week or so. And the longer it gapped down heavily yesterday, overnight, sorry, it's gapped down heavily overnight. And it looks very weak overall. It's broke annual lows. So yeah, this is give me the sell. No, I don't like this head and shoulders. There's a shoulder, there's your head, there's another shoulder, potentially sell off. Is he? I didn't know that one, Harrison. Interesting. Didn't know that. Well, every day's a school day, as they say. So we're looking at another 30 seconds or so for Palisades to resume. Yeah. Well, I will not talk smack about the guy. Didn't know him, so no reason to. I don't know who your ex-wife is, but I think there's quite a few on this in this channel that have ex-wives. Let's have a look. I said wait for the pullback. Went up to 450. Next halt up will be 498, but we've got a halt down at 332. Needs to decide, does it go up or does it needs to hold $4. There we go, 10,000 shares into a halt. Nice one, Tony. That's today's target done. Why am I crying on the inside? I've got a gorgeous girlfriend, and my ex is a BITCA. So no, so we're into a halt on the upside. We've got 10,000 shares. Before it halted, I got a 20-cent trailing stop. So this will resume, probably level or slightly higher or whatever. We're currently unrealized 5,900. So that should put us in a nice position to be green on the day, above goal. Let's go. Neddy. Who was I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been somebody on the YouTube chat yesterday was saying that Tesla, long-term, Tesla's a great short, and I actually agree with him long-term. From a car manufacturing point of view, as a data company, they're not going to be able to compete with the big vehicle manufacturers. So I'd like the thoughts of this gapping up. 7,000 unrealized based on the resumption will be nice, but yeah. Absolutely ghetto sleeping, 100%. You have a goal for a reason. If you get to goal, get to green, get to goal, get out. Don't be giving money back. The rest of your day's your own. That's the whole point of being a trader, is that you get in, you get out, you get profitable, and you get out. The rest of your day's your own. You can go and do the shop. Actually, I need to do some shopping. I've only got one bottle of wine left. So yeah, get in, get green, get out, get over goal. I might take her to the vets. Actually, I'll give them a call and make an appointment for the vets. Nothing wrong with her. She's just due a checkup, and I think she's got a kennel cough vaccination that she's due as well. So I'll have to do that as well. But yeah, a nice gap up to 7,000 unrealized would be nice for me. By all means, you're always going to leave money on the table, ghetto sleeping. You're either not going to catch the whole move, or you're going to miss out on the top or something. When you try and judge the top and it pulls back, you're going to get stopped out. You're never going to get the whole move. So you're always going to leave some money on the table. It's best just to enjoy the ride and be profitable. And if you can make $500 a day, that's a six-figure income. That's all I'm saying. What software am I using? I'm using Dash Trader Pro. So this halted at 48. So 53. We shut up you. We can have a look at see if there's anything else. So have a look at some other stocks while we're at it. Let's try to make a reverse. It had a good day yesterday, but it's been selling off. It was more of a dead cat bounce, in my opinion, looking at it. So probably not the best thing to be trying to trade. Dual hasn't started trading yet. The SPY, the overall market, it's down, but there's a nice little W formation on the market, which could pop up and get back over VWAP. If it gets back over VWAP, it could be quite bullish. So Pally, that's where we are right now. That stop, that pop, that stop. We'll see. We might get stopped out, but we might not. We'll see. No problem at all, Ghetto Sleeping. You can always, if you feel like you want to continue trading, but you want to hold on to those gains, carry on trading in the simulator. Just paper trade for the rest of the day. You can still get a little, it's not the same, but you can get a little bit of a buzz, and it can improve your confidence on trading as well. But you're holding on to those gains. You've got 500 profitable, and don't succumb to FOMO. It's one of the worst poisons in a trader's life is FOMO. It's looking at gapping up to 510 at the moment, from what I can see. 510 resumption. Maybe a little bit more, based on the level 2. There we go. Let's continue moving up. I've got my stop in place. There we go, stopped out. There you go. That's me done for the day, kids. What's the best trailing stops to get the most from those gap ups? It varies from stock to stock. It depends on the volatility of the stock. What I would suggest is at the moment, this one's got an ATR. So the ATR is a good idea. So if you were to put your stops in place, I would say on a trailing stop, you look at the ATR. Look at the ATR. If you want to be conservative, look at half the ATR. The ATR right now is 40 cents. So you put a 20-cent trailing stop in. And it's halted up to the upside again. I could have left that in actually, but no, if you've got an ATR of like 40 cents, oh, it's a false halt. False halt. Pulling all the way back. So if you look at the ATR, which is why the ATR is a good indicator to use if you're unsure about the range of the stock and where you should be taking, putting your stops or your take profits in place. If you're putting a trailing stop in a highly volatile stock like this, look at the ATR. Half the ATR is usually a good trailing stop. You might get stopped out if you want to be a bit more risky. Then put the ATR in. So you might have put a 40-cent trailing stop in place. On a $5 stock, a 40-cent trailing stop to me seems a bit excessive, so half the ATR. So pulling back now. I like this pullback for a continuation. Well, that's going to be an easy one to put on the trade recap later. Delete out the 5 minutes wait. We're half an hour in, we've hit goal. So just to put this into context, if I wasn't streaming, if I wasn't doing the social media aspect, if I wasn't streaming live, I would have been doing. I'd have had a half an hour's work and I'd have hit my goal. I would have $6,000 up in half an hour. So, or an hour if you want to be pretentious about it. No, I'm not greedy. I'm just look. I'm waiting for the right setup. This is pulling back nicely, but if it pulls back too far, I know it's done. Ideally, it needs to hold at kind of 475. We've got the 9 EMA there at 462, coming up to meet it. So it needs some kind of if it breaks lower lows on the 1 minute, I know it's done. So we're looking at a low currently of 490. So ideally, what needs to hold at the whole dollar level, and then move back up. So this is a little flag pullback. It's a little flag for me. Getting lower highs, higher lows, and it usually breaks one way or the other. There's no point, and I totally agree with you, Yusuf. Is that you get it? So exactly what I'm saying to Ghetto Sleeping is that you get in, you get your money, and you get out. Don't be chasing it because you think that this is going to continue, because they don't. They don't continue forever. The majority of these stocks are garbage. Just to put that into context, this was a penny stock just last week, and it had a 22-to-1 reverse stock split. So this was literally trading for pennies a little over a week ago. So put that into context. It's a garbage stock. In the grand scheme of things, most of these stocks that I trade intraday are garbage stocks. They're not worth your headspace. So you ride the momentum to the upside. You want to be taking advantage of the front side of the move. What you don't want to be doing is getting locked into the back side of the move. Even if it looks like it's going to make a move back up, you want to make sure that if it is, it's going to be profitable. So right now, I wouldn't touch this above on the 5 minute. We're looking at 544. So I would wait for a 5 minute candle to make a new high now. It's pulled back just too much. It's below the whole dollar. It's tapped the 9 EMA as well. It is already extended, so I would wait for this to break a new high on the 5 minute. I always lose limit orders, Super Chip. Always use limit orders. I've kind of started using limit orders. When I first started trading, I was using market orders, but I always use limit orders. But my stops are essentially market orders. They just get out at the best possible price, which is why I very often get some crap slippage on my stops. So we'll get a new 5 minute candle coming up in, we're just closing out this 5 minute candle red. So we've got a new candle now. So this candle needs to break a new high. So it needs to get above the high of the previous 5 minute candle, which was 544. So you're looking at $0.50, 545, the $0.50, something like that for potential move back up. There's no guarantees that it will. But you're going to have resistance at the $0.50, so that I wouldn't advise entering a position at 544 or 545, because you're going to get $0.50 resistance to the upside. So now the reason I might take another trade with this is because I've got a cushion. I've got $1,300 cushion now that I can use, and I'm still over goal. The whole point is get green, stay green, get to goal, stay over goal. There's a nice hammer candle on the 2 minute. And hammer candles tend to be quite bullish, so there's a nice hammer candle here on the 2 minute. So 5 minute is really what we're looking for. We're looking for a break of new highs. So here on the 5 minute, but we're getting new lows. So on the 5 minute. So that for me is a signal to say we've had the front side of the move. Wait for a better setup, because this looks like it's going to pull back and get a bit choppy for a bit, consolidate for a bit, or whatever. It doesn't look like it's got bullish action, and if it does, it might struggle up at $5.50 or $6. So now we look for something else to trade. Let's have a look. What else is moving? A&F, Abercrombie. No, it's not doing anything, so probably not worth considering as a potential trade. SATX, that's always interesting. DBGI's interesting. Not going to be trading either of those, but they're interesting to watch. So SATX. $0.75 spread on this, 85-cent spread on this. So moving up nicely, very volatile. You've got an ATR over $1, but you'll need that because the spread is over $1 or almost $1. Oh, it is over $1. The spreads are $2. $2 spreads. So an ATR is not going to help. An ATR of $1 is not going to help you when the spreads are $2. So yeah, market orders, you're always going to get slipped, whether it's an entry or an exit. Well, that's an ETF, Yusuf. I don't trade ETFs because ETFs are all a derivative, and I don't trade derivatives. Yeah, Ghetto sleeping. That's because you're the PDT rule. Whereabouts your base, Ghetto? If you're subject to the PDT rule, and if you're in the UK with certain brokers, that's the case. If you're in North America, that is always the case, unless you're with an offshore broker. Now, Capital Markets Elite Group is an offshore broker that negates the PDT rule, so you can actually trade with a smaller account and day trade with a smaller account without having to have $25,000 worth of equity or more. Now, it doesn't apply to me. I have a larger account, so the PDT rule wouldn't apply to me anyway. But yeah, the PDT, yeah, New York. What you want to do is, if you want to trade with a smaller account, you either look at futures. That doesn't count as day trading. I wouldn't advise anyone to look at Forex personally, or look at an offshore broker. Speed Trade, they require you to have is an offshore broker, but so they don't apply the TDT rule, but they require you to deposit 25k anyway. So something like Capital Markets, CMEG or Capital Markets Elite Group out in the Caribbean works wonders for that. I don't trade futures myself because again it's a derivative, so I don't. I prefer to trade the instrument, not the derivative of the instrument. But I like watching. There's no way I would trade this in a paper account, and I did trade it last week, I think it was, and managed to. I couldn't get filled. I tried to take 5,000 shares of this and couldn't get filled. I got 400 filled. And again, that's another thing with these kind of stocks is whilst you know you're taking a big risk or big gain, but the liquidity can always can also be part of the risk. The lack of liquidity. If you try and take a decent sized order, getting it filled can be problematic sometimes because there's always got to be, it's a zero sum market. There's always got to be somebody willing to buy what you're looking to sell, and there's always got to be somebody prepared to sell what you're looking to buy. So for every buyer, there's an equal number of sellers. There might be 10 sellers selling a tenth of the volume of the one buyer and vice versa, but in terms of numbers of shares, there's got to be, it's a zero-sum market. There's always the same number of sellers as there is buyers. I don't think I was ever 6k down, was I? I don't think I was ever 6k down today. Grinder's halted up. Let's have a look at Grinder. Halted to the upside. Got a volume spike here. 24,000 shares. Moved to the upside. 14% up on the day. So Grinder could start moving now. If it gets over $25, watch for a big move. Because $25 is a psychological level. That's why I'm saying $25. It's a very psychological level. And kind of looking at $23 as a key level. $23.50. Oh, no, $23 is a key level from yesterday. Yeah, so our resistance up at 23.50, 23.25, whatever. Then it's got resistance up at 26 after that, 26.25. And then we're looking at $30. So Grinder, let's see what happens. Does it pull back? So that should resume in 2 minutes. Yeah, so 4K. Or 6K down on Best Buy. And then again, I was able to recover most of that. And that's what you've got to accept. You're going to have losing trades. Not every trade is going to go your way. You can analyze the trade and look for the entries, look for the, and do it right. With Best Buy, I held on to it too long. I took my eye off and it had already flushed, so I was looking for, okay, what's the best course of action with this? So with Best Buy, if you stick to your strategy, if you've got a profitable strategy and you stick to it, the likelihood is you'll make money. If you deviate from it, as I did with Best Buy, and I didn't cut my trade early when it started getting to a negative position, then you're going to lose money. And I lost money on Best Buy. So, yeah. What's with Amazon? I don't know. What is with Amazon? Let me just... so we've got a minute left on Grinder. So let's have a quick look at Amazon. What's up with Amazon? Oh, it's following the market. It's following the market. So it's the same pattern as the market, although it started from a lower position on the day. So if you look at the SPY, this is the Amazon chart. This is the SPY chart. It's the same pattern. The price action is very similar. So that's what's up. That's what's up with Amazon. So Amazon's doing this red to green, dip and rip kind of red to green move. Let's see what happens with Grinder in 30 minutes. In 30 seconds, 30 minutes. So we've got 30 seconds on Grinder. But you've got to understand, your appetite for risk is going to be, you've got to have an appetite for risk, and you're going to lose sometimes. So you can't get beat up if you go into the red. You've got to understand that if there's volatility in the market, there's opportunity to make that up. So don't beat yourself up if you go into the red, because a red day is normal. A bad trade, a negative trade is normal. A red day is normal. A red week is actually normal. That just comes with the territory of trading, unfortunately. No, it looks like it's going to be a 10-minute halt. Oh no. Oh, massive gap up. What's the spreads here? 20 cents. Will I get filled? I got filled. $25. Grind is incredibly volatile. Now, if this pulls back a bit too far, I'm going to have to exit. 25 cents on the spreads, which is not bad for Grinder. It was $1 a couple of minutes ago. There's widening. Looking for the break at 25. We'll put 84 on the ask. That's the thing with this, incredibly volatile. Been a bit of 25.50 is getting a bit of resistance. $0.50 spreads right now. You've got to watch that. You can't average down when the ask hasn't moved. ONCS is selling off hard. Super chip. ONCS is at 5.15s. It's way off the $7 it was attempting to break earlier. Down at 5.15. Got it on my other screen, on my watch list from earlier. Looking for a break of 25 here to 24.80, 24.99. Can we break the highs here? This is the question. 25.50, we need to break 25.50 because the spreads are so wide. And I need a bathroom break as well. So if this isn't going to break 25.50, I need to break the bathroom. Didn't even get filled. I've got an order there at 25.69. Is it going back up to collect me? I've got a partial fill. Come on, fill me. This is the problem with these stocks, is they're just not liquid enough. And I got a partial fill. I got 100 of my shares filled out of 2,500. Come on. Sort that out. That's shocking. Shockingly painful. Just have to cancel that order. Let's see, is it going back up for me? We got $71 out of that move. That's $125. That's just absolute crap risk reward. I had like 2,500 in the red there, but look, it's a profitable trade. I just couldn't get filled. I had an order there and I only got 100 shares filled of it. And sometimes it'd be like that. When the liquidity is not great and you're trying to get a reasonable order filled, then it's just, look, it's a profitable trade. And green's green. And it's like, I'm happy to be green. I'll be back in a second. I needed a bathroom break. Here I am. What did I miss? Nothing. Okay, guys. So I'm going to be ending the stream in about 10 minutes. So let me know in the chat. Power hour or no power hour tonight? There's no England game until Friday, so I'm free in the evenings. Power hour or no power hour? Let me know in the chat. If there's enough interest, I'll do a power hour stream from 8 p.m. my time, which is going to be 3 p.m. market time. So work out whether that works for you or not. And just put power hour or PH in the chat. And if there's enough interest, I'll come back later for a power hour stream. So it's the power hour is the last hour of the market, open market. But let me know, do you want a power hour stream or not? If there's no response, then I guess there's no appetite. But you let me know, guys. Is there appetite for a power hour stream tonight? And if you're watching on ShareVision, all two of you, that includes you. Say something in the chat. You're always very quiet on ShareVision. Okay, so we're getting. I think we'll do a power hour stream tonight. We've got enough appetite for it. I'm over goal, sizably over goal. I might look at grinder a little bit later, but I think it's time to walk the dog. I'm not going to get greedy. And let's have a look at what that means for us. I'll do the updates later in terms of the statistics and everything else. Let's have a look at what. Where are we here? Okay, so this is my link tree. If this is answering a lot of the questions that a lot of people have already asked. People wanting to know how I find stocks that are moving, when they're moving, as they're moving, as they're breaking out, I use Benzinga. So Benzinga is it's the scanner tool. Benzinga Pro is the platform that I use that alerts me when stocks are moving, by how much, on what volume, what the catalyst is, etc., etc. What does it look like? Well, this is my Benzinga platform. So you guys on the stream, you're seeing these two scanners here. But I've got this scanner here, which is real time. As you can see here, it's the real time refresh. So it's constantly updating, as you can see. It tells me what's moving, by how much. I've got Nvidia, so just breaking highs here, new high day series. I've got price spikes. This is my signals and alerts here. I've got rolling news here. So this is Benzinga. This is what I'm looking at on a daily basis that gives me the edge to find stocks to trade. Okay, if you want to try, check out Benzinga. If you want to try and use it yourself, come use this this link here. It's the same link that's in the description in YouTube, and use the code DTWT35 and you get 35% off. Whichever package you decide to go for at the end of your 2 weeks trial, you'll get 35% off. You don't need a credit card number, so you can just try it. All you need is an email address. I'm not saying that you can use a burner email address and then renew it with another burner email address in 2 weeks time. I'm not saying that you should do that. That's kind of highly questionable. Yeah, check out Benzinga. If you want to learn to trade, come join the Day Trade with Tony community. So we've got a community, and this is the Day Trade with Tony course, which is the gateway to the community. The Day Trade with Tony course is it's lay speak for learning how to day trade. Full syllabus here. If you check out this link, there's full syllabus here. It's very reasonably priced. It's 120 bucks plus tax in whatever the tax is in your jurisdiction. So 120 bucks a month for you to learn how to day trade. You get access to the private Day Trade with Tony Discord, where we've got a trading room. We've got a lot of conversations going on throughout the day. We're calling out what we're seeing on the market. We're calling out news. We're calling out alerts on the market as well. So that to get access to that Discord is via the Day Trade with Tony trading course. What else? If you're enjoying the stream and you want some memorabilia for it, check out the merch. You guys asked for it, I've delivered. So we've got hoodies. So hoodies like this one, for example, just a fat guy on the internet, not him, but me. Different colors, so you can get light blue, black, all kinds of different colors in all kinds of different sizes. Of course, a fat guy on the internet, you're going to need up to 3XL. So that's a hoodie. And you've got t-shirts, mugs. I've already put my order in. I've got my my mugs. If you want to see the full range, check out the entire store there. It's a Shopify store that I put together for you guys. So I've got my mug and hoodie and various other things on the way, and I should have them at some stage this week or early next week. And yeah, so that's the Day Trade with Tony merch store. TradingView, not to be confused with TradingView. So TradingView, check out TradingView if you're new, because this is a free charting tool. It's one of the best charting tools out there. All professionals still use TradingView, and it's a free tool. So TradingView is, go through to TradingView, and they've got a sale. It is actually a free. You can do that charting, screeners, whatever. And you can get in there. I'm a member of. I've used TradingView, but you can check that out. There's a Black Friday sale if you want to subscribe into it and get the data. They're 60% off. TradingView, it's the journal, and again, you click this link. This is what the TradingView journal looks like. If you look, I've got another 6,500 to add to this, but if we look at November so far, this is what my November looks like. The red days are where I've lost money, the green days are where I've made money. Reports at the moment for the year, I want November at the moment, so we'll go into this more detail later on the Power Hour. But if I go into the detailed reports here, you can see that we're over goal. So today we needed just under 2,000 to get to goal. 100,000 a month is what I target myself on. So with the 6,500 that we got today, which just happens to be the average daily gain in November since last Friday, so we're now over goal. So we've hit goal on November. We're now eating into December's goal ahead of time. So hopefully we can get to December's goal before I jet off and get some sun for Christmas and New Year on my birthday. So by all means, you can send me some birthday wishes if you want in January. But yeah, so check out the link tree. Dash Trader is the platform that I'm using to trade. If that was asked a couple of times, what's the software? It's Dash Trader Pro. It looks like the Pepsi symbol, but it's green and gold. with the Harry Potter bolt through it. And yeah, I'm going to end the stream now. So come back later for the power hour, and we'll do it all again later. I'll say do it all again. If there's something worth trading, I'll do it. But if there's not, I won't be. I'm not taking it once I'm over goal, and I'm not taking a trade just for the sake of taking a trade. I thought that Grinder might move up after the halt up. It looked like it was going to, but it didn't. So we got it profitably at least. And I'll end the stream now and take the dog for a walk. So you guys enjoy the day. Where am I for the year? We're ahead of goal for the year at the moment, so and I'll cover that later. So join me for the power hour stream, dunkers, and I'll cover that later. And I might well have a glass of wine, Ian. I might well do that. If I'm having a glass of wine, I'm not trading. So if I take another trade today and it's successful, I probably will have a glass of wine. But if it's if I'm going to be trading, I'm not trading on wine. I just remember how that worked out for me last time. It wasn't very favourable. It was fun, don't get me wrong. It was fun, but it was expensive. I had 2 bottles of wine over the course of the a 2-hour stream, I think it was. And for those of you that weren't on that live stream, I had two bottles of wine over the course of 2 hours. So, well, I actually wasn't. I was already loaded up before. I had a full bottle of wine on the stream, and I was finishing a bottle of wine when we started the live session. And I was trading. I think I lost what was it, about 18,000 or something like that. I think it was. So £9 a bottle of wine. Expensive bottles of wine, and I wouldn't mind, but it was nice wine, but it wasn't that nice. So yeah, I'll see you guys tonight. And if I don't see you tonight, if you can't make the power hour stream tonight, that's okay. I'll be back at it tomorrow morning. It's the last day before Thanksgiving tomorrow, so Thursday there is no trading. Tomorrow, 90 minutes before the market opens, I'll be back at it again. So that's 8 a.m. market time, I think it is. New York, East Coast. But it's 1 p.m. here where I'm based. It's at 1 p.m. in the UK if you're based in the UK, 2 p.m. in Europe if you're based in Europe. So I'll be back later, and come join me later, or come join me 90 minutes before the market opens tomorrow. We'll do it all again. Catch you later, guys.